What's up, y'all? It's Akira and I'm back with another video.
Hello stranger, it's been a minute since we last kicked it. By the way,
So first I just want to start out by saying disregard the noise. I have a fan on because it is raining outside and it's thundering, but it's kind of cooled down a little. Put on the fan to kind of muffle the sound of the rain, so I don't know how it's gonna sound, but I'm gonna try to talk loud enough to where you don't hear the fan nor the rain. I'm giving y'all a sit down video, and as I can tell by the title, it's going to be things that I noticed through my first year of college. July 14th, and so, you know, in August I officially, not in August,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
May, I officially became a sophomore in college. So I did one complete year. So now I'm just gonna break down some things that I noticed, how college is definitely different than high school. So, you know, your teachers in high school, they always tell you, okay, well, this not gonna fly in college. Y'all better get on y'all game because you can't do this in college. That is definitely true. To some extent, it is definitely true. I see what they're talking about. Nobody said that to me because, like, not to my own harm, but you know, I was very responsible. I was always on my game. You know, I was always on my responsibilities. But that's definitely true. The first thing that I noticed how college is different than high school is that people in the classrooms, they do not talk much at all. Like, I don't know if it's just because, like, especially with your like biology classes, your chemistry classes, you know, those are generally like a larger area. Like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. If I have a picture, I'll insert it on the screen. But my biology class is huge. My biology class literally has 200 plus students, and it's like, it looks like it's a huge room, and the seats curve. You got this side, in the middle. It's so big. We have 3 projectors. Okay, so each stand can have a projector. But even in my smaller classes, like my nursing class, it had about 40 or 30 people, I believe. We still didn't talk. The only time that I talked to people, or that people talked to each other, unless they were friends already, is whenever we had a group project. You don't really, of course, if you reach out first, they'll say something back, but it's like you'll barely see people who don't know each other have a conversation. I feel like in high school, you can start talking to someone easily. Throughout my first year, I had 2 group projects, and I have no connection. I talk with nobody. I did make a friend from these groups. It's like, yeah, so I don't know why. I just feel like it's harder for people to connect in college because it's a large amount of people. So I feel like it's just harder for people to connect in college in general. It could be like a good and a bad thing having a lot of people. So yeah, so that's one of the first things I noticed, that people really don't talk to each other in class. It's like they will stay silent the whole class. They get there, they leave, and that's it. The second thing that I noticed how college is different than high school is that teachers are definitely like not in contact with you as much. Like I was saying earlier, you know how in high school, a lot of times your teachers will remind you almost every day in class when you have an assignment due, when you have a test coming up, homework, quizzes, stuff like that. In general, like, your teachers will just be there to remind you more often, or they will put in the effort to like help you and remind you about things more often. But in college, let me tell you, a lot of, I'm not saying it's all teachers, but a lot of my teachers is like, they send you an email about, like, they'll send you a reminder after class, probably whenever they talked about the assignment. Okay, hey, this is due this day, this is what you need to do. They'll send you an email one day, and they might post it on, like, I would call it like the class or the school website. I also call it Moodle. So they'll post a reminder or instructions on Moodle, and that's about it. You know, you do that, you better write that down yourself and just keep working on it until it's due, because they will not, like, they will try to remind you, but it's not really, they don't put that much focus to it. Like, they don't put that much effort to remind you, because it's essentially not their job. You know, they reminded you twice already. They told you what you have to do. Now it's up to you yourself to make sure that you get your work done at the right time. And also a lot of teachers, high school teachers, they let you slide. That's another point. I didn't even have this written down, but a lot of teachers, they don't take late work. I think it was my chemistry class, I believe it was her. If it's not done on that day, it's a 0. Baby, it's a 0. Okay, you better if it's due at 11:59 and at 12 a.m. it's a 0. It's a 0. You better turn that work in on time in college. I'm telling you, high school teachers, they're gonna let y'all slide. They give y'all a pass. They gonna believe y'all y'all little side excuses, baby. Yeah, that's another thing they don't play about in college is them due dates. And that 11:59, y'all, it better be in. It better be in. And it's even worse because a lot of like the quizzes or homework assignments are online, so it's easier for them to track. So you better turn in your work on time. That's another thing. You learn a lot of material for one test. For biology, I can remember learning about 3 to 4 weeks worth of material. And to make that sound simpler, okay, so it's like each of my biology lessons, we had a PowerPoint to it, right? But do you know how many slides those PowerPoints were? Especially in biology, my PowerPoints were a good 25 to 30 plus slides for each lesson, okay? Think about that. So think about 30 slides times 5. That is 150 pages of notes for one test. And you might be like, well, that's not that bad, you know, you got 3 weeks to learn it. But it's like, it's so much information. Yeah, you can memorize and try to thoroughly understand something with those 3 weeks, but it's like you're gonna feel overwhelmed because not everybody, like I'm not trying to make you feel stressed out. I just want y'all to be on your A game whenever y'all into college, okay? But it's like I said, and it's not for everybody. Like every teacher isn't going to be the same. But yes, so you just gotta really pace yourself. Study a chunk each day, a chunk each week. But yeah, so it's just a lot of information that ends up falling on one test. That was with all of my classes. The tests in colleges are spaced out. You will, like in high school, I had a test like every Friday in almost every subject. You're gonna have one like every 3 weeks, probably twice a month. Really, honestly, probably once a month, you'll have a test. So as I said, it's a lot of material on one test. You get the time to learn it, but it's still a lot of material to observe and thoroughly learn that's for one test. Another thing about college is that I don't know if it's all classes, but I know for my biology class and yeah, for my biology class and my chemistry class, if you miss a test, like if you got to take a makeup and you have a valid excuse, you have to wait till the end of the year to take that makeup. Like, you know how sometimes in high school you would miss a test and you would take it probably the next week or a few days later? No. In college, if you miss a test and you gotta take a makeup, you gotta take that at the end of the year. So imagine missing a test at the beginning of the school year and then you gotta wait all the way until the end of the year to take your makeup. So it's like you learned a lot of information in between that time, and it's like you gotta go back and try to restudy and try to catch on again to that lesson or that test that you missed. I think the last topic that I want to touch on is about knowing the right major. So a lot of us go into college potentially knowing what we want to major in or think we know what we want to major in. Sometimes we go into college not knowing what we want to major in, and those, you know, those two options are totally fine. Each one is completely fine because it is going to take time. Like, a lot of times people go into college thinking that, you know, they know what they want to major in, and they find out, you know, they actually get into the classes, kind of start working in the field, and they're like, man, this isn't for me. And once again, that is fine. But I just want to say that this is something I should have did as well. I just want to give that advice that if it's possible, if you think you know what you want to major in, try to find a job while you're in high school, or like maybe like an internship or like a job, like a small job or something, if you can, related to that area. Like for example, if you want to go to school for nursing, see if you can intern, you know, in a hospital, a nursing home, something, just so you can get the feel of the environment, the feel of the responsibilities and the duties that you will have to pursue in your major, the people that you're working with. You need to really, before you fully decide on a major, I really advise y'all to take time to try to get a jump start into the field, or get like a taste of your major. That will really help you before you pick a major and go to college. Sometimes like switching your majors a lot, like, it isn't an issue, but switching it like more than once, it can start to get costlier. It can kind of set you back a little bit, which is totally fine. But if you know you're one of those people that just want to like finish something and start, it can set you back a little bit. Sometimes you have to retake classes, no reason. So I just advise, you know, to try to get a little bit of experience or a little bit of taste into what you really want to major in. The thing is that in college, especially if you're living in a dorm, you're going to have a lot more responsibilities. Like I said, especially living in a dorm, you're gonna feel like you're on your own. You're gonna kind of get a taste of being an adult. You know, you get to set your own times, kind of make your own rules. You know, to a certain extent, you gotta follow the school rules, but blossoming into an adult. So you're gonna find that some things are going to be more difficult. You know, you're gonna have to make a lot of decisions by yourself. You're gonna have to really think critical about a lot of things, but I believe that everyone can do it. It's just a part of life and growing. I think that's it. That's all I have for this video. I just wanted to point out a few key things of how I think college is a little bit different than high school. Like I said, I know I probably sounded like I was kind of throwing a lot of the negatives out about college, but I'm really not. I'm just trying to tell y'all that it is tougher in some ways. You know, there's more obstacles. You have to take up more responsibility. You have to make sure that you have really good time management. I just want to get y'all prepared for college and just some things to be thinking about in advance. Trust me, there's a lot of positives about college, but this year I didn't really mingle and I didn't really get out and experience as much as I should have. But I'm just talking about like the academic side. So definitely I encourage y'all to get out, make friends, just spark conversations with people so you can, you know, make friends and stuff. Go to events, go to parties, just make sure you're safe. And yeah, just get out and live life. College is really a fun experience. You're gonna meet a lot of wonderful people. Your true self at the end, you know, you're gonna start becoming who you really are. Stay strong, stay focused, set priorities for yourself. Do not overwhelm yourself. Do not stress out. Do not burn out. Try not to reach that point. Self-care days for you. Set breaks for yourself. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it.